We are live. I'm sharing you the link. Okay, we will start whenever you are ready.
Is it? Yes. You left it? Hello, I'm audible now?
You are audible and also video is nice. You have to just keep in mind that your chin does not get cut. जब भी कभी बात करते हुए आप आगे आ गए तो chin आपका नीचे से. Yes, this is very good. So that when you move, things are not changing. Okay. I am ready from my side. So whenever you say, we can go.
Yeah, we can start off.
Warm greetings. Welcome to today's session on women in architecture. The discussion on women in architecture is about understanding the nuances of being women in the profession, and it is placed in the larger purview of being in the diverse fields of built environment for those women who started their career with architecture education. The session is conducted with the support of Eco Development and Research Cell, a not-for-profit initiative of Environmental Design Consultants, EDC, and the BAR. This is Dr. Mansi Bhargava from the House of EDC, and I'm also the host of the session today, as well as the research we are conducting. The research is to study actually the presence and participation of women in shaping the built environment. And it is taken in the purview that women engaging in practice and pedagogy of the built environment need to be learned, documented, disseminated. And we are actually doing a biographical journey of those women who chose practice, research, education, arts, activism, a mix of some of them in a very highly multi-transdisciplinary approach to chart their careers. Through the study, we wish to acknowledge and appreciate the contribution of women in the profession, bring forth the critical points that need to be addressed at individual, institutional, and collective levels as what makes or breaks or tweaks the career of women architects in the country. It allows us to implicitly understand how women maneuver their lives to find their purpose of being in the profession, and explicitly, we wish to build role models for the current and future generation. The study is a call for action for us, all of us, to realize the need for an equitable architectural profession, just in case we wish to really have an equitable and sustainable built environment. Having said that, the study is highly biased in that sense, saying that it is resuming that the profession is heavily influenced by patriarchals. And manuals of such things are not hidden from anybody. The methodology in this study is called autoethnography, which in simple word means the life journey of our respondents and the researchers' well. The method includes semi-structured, open-ended interaction, followed by developing a video series of the interaction, which is going to happen now. We are live and we have taken the consent of our speaker. We are also recording this session and we will actually convert them into these interactions into profitable book. We completed 75 sessions and we have actually reached out to more than 400 women in architecture, which is a huge repository for us. And today, to do the honor, we have actually Sarab Marwa to speak with us about her life journey. And before I invite her to have the conversation, a deep gratitude to her to take out time and interact with me. And I will invite her once I introduce her as a brief biography of hers so that we can jump into Sarab, the girl, the woman we would like to know. Sarab Marwa is an architect who believes architecture is like a poetry, same pen, same paper, but different compositions. Through her Mohali-based practice, she creates client-centric space that balances functionality, aesthetics, and sustainability. She's a graduate of Guru Nanak Dev University, and she leads SSC with a research-driven approach, delivering innovative, energy-efficient design tailored to every client. We are going to hear a lot about Sarab today, but a big thanks to Sarab once again. Just
Thank
a
you so
disclaimer
much.
to you, just a disclaimer to you that the focus is actually around the worries and the wisdom by the woman, for the woman, of the woman in the built environment. And I have tried to keep it like a master class so that the conversation also becomes like an interesting thing for people to listen to. And we also enjoy doing this conversation and we are not pressed about it. So shall we start?
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And it's great to be here. I'm sure it's going to be very insightful for me as well today. Yeah.
Let's go. So I would like to take you to your high school days as how was the environment at home, in the friend circle, in the relatives? What actually enticed you, intrigued you, pushed you to architecture?
I think getting into architecture was my childhood dream. So I'll just, give you some insights about those episodes as well. So when I was small, I think I was in second standard, maybe 6, 7 years old. So I used to go to my friend's place to play. Okay. And at that point of time, in, those times, we could spend hours together at our friend's place, right? So these days, this thing is not common. So I used to play with her and her mother. She used to, scribble something on the drawing boards and with a lot of pens. She used to do something and a lot of colors and very fascinating. So we used to play and that was a daily routine. So after that, and one day somebody came to our house and asked me, "What do you want to become when you grow old?" So I was thinking, what do I want to become? So I said, I want to be her. And he asked me, what is her? Like, I'll tell you tomorrow. Then I ran back to her place. I asked, what do you do? Who are you? Okay, you have to give your introduction to me. So she said, I'm an architect. I said, okay, I got the answer. I have to be an architect. So since I think 6, 7 years old, I thought of that. And I'll just share this episode. So recently उस समय पे slam books चलते थे अगर आपको याद होगा. So all of our friends, we used to write that. And there I just opened it and 2, 3 slam books were there and there I had written that I wanted to be an architect. So it is a moment of pride for me today. I'm really proud of my own self as well that I'm into it and I, did what I wanted to. Yeah.
That's very interesting because not many of us in those early days, not having people around to give insights on the field, we did not really know what to do. And drawing was a common thing that, oh, we have good drawing skills, so architecture becomes an alternate option.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes. When you were in college time or in your, let's say, internship or very early career, did you ever realize that it's going to be different to be a woman in the field, or you did not have that feeling because you grew up already like an inspiration person around you who was also a woman? How was it with you in the college days? Did you really see any differentiation between a girl student, boy student, or did you feel sometime?
Yes. So first, when I went into my graduation, there were almost, I think, only 8 to 10 boys and 22, 20, 32 girls. So the proportion was
Wow.
such,
So
okay? So girls
proportion
had
was
that
different.
power. Yeah, we had that power.
Mm.
Okay, we can do anything and everything, and nobody's. I'm taking the other way around. I'm not not as towards the minority, but towards the majority.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's very interesting.
so it was like that. So we were 32 of the girls and 8 boys, and that was my first instance. And throughout my life, I don't think so I got any chance to feel that I'm a little lesser than what boys are. Never
Mm.
through my life I got it. And my father was the one who always pushed me to get into business, to get into practice. Otherwise, I was working. So after doing my graduation, I moved to Bombay with architect Hafiz Contractor. I've worked there for 2.5, 3 years. So that was the turning point, I think, of my life. But yeah, throughout my life, I don't think so I've ever felt that I'm anything any less than anybody else. Yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting to know. So, could you then also give some example of how do you express that you feel that you did not really realize that there is any distinction about being woman or in the field? Because I felt it, and that's why I'm doing this research,
I understand.
obviously. Yeah. But I'm also very intrigued by listening to diverse experiences people had. And it's also important that we, share this with everyone that how it is when you have a different, I will say, starting point or a different reference point and how it shapes your profession in that case.
So see,
So,
yeah.
give me some examples.
Okay. So first, I think that was my first visit to Trivandrum, Kerala.
Mm,
There I went, and those were my early years of my job and all.
mm,
So I
mm,
was just an immediate graduate, और मैं वहाँ पे थी, and there were
mm,
25, 30 men,
mm,
as in not
mm,
even boys. They were
mm.
like you know pretty
Yeah.
older to me. And I was the one dictating them what to do, what not to do. And suddenly, at the back of my mind, I thought, Mecca, okay, am I really doing this? Am I guiding all the men around here?
Yeah,
But then what I
engineers,
think,
contractors. Yeah.
absolutely, and PMC and managers, everybody.
Mm.
So then, you know what? I went back to my room and then I realized, Mecca, uh, there was something different, right?
Mm.
अगर मैंने इस पॉइंट को पहले सोचा होता कि मैं अकेली लेडी होंगी और वहां इतने लोग होंगे तो मैं कभी स्टेप इन नहीं कर पाती लेकिन
Mm.
आई थिंक लेस
But you went, you
या
went with a very open mind, huh?
हाँ so I did not even realize I did not want to think about it that okay man woman
Mm.
girl boy I've never thought of it
Mm.
so maybe
Mm.
that was in back of the mind बाद में मुझे realize हुआ no I was the only one then I said okay it's fine yeah
And it is actually very common for to be a lone woman in a company of men in our profession. Actually, that is
absolutely
also something that many people have pointed out. And it's not only that we are talking about sites, but you see some big events, conferences, manuals are unlimited. But then even if when I have many events, where I have been invited and I'm a solo woman on the stage with all men around and you cannot escape that that notice that okay you are in between on one hand you feel privileged or that inclusiveness is there that they have included you but probably from my end because I have been quite vocal about it or little bit more sensitive about it I also make it a point to tell them that on one hand I'm feeling lucky, but on the other hand I feel sad that we are not equally represented. So something like that. So is it because you started a career with a very renowned architect and you had that platform that people were listening? Can you recall some of those things or maybe create a scenario in a hypothetical scenario if you were going as your early career architect would that be same situation or is it
I
something
don't think
cultural?
so. I don't think so because I think this is a major point that I've missed to think. I was in Bombay, girls used to come, they used to walk around, used to come back at around 11 p.m., right, from the
Mm,
office. And I never felt unsafe.
mm,
Maybe my environment was such that, I
mm.
did not feel, okay, I'm walking back home so late, or maybe, men or women around me. I've never thought of that
The
subject at
location
all.
also Mumbai.
Location
It's Mumbai.
as well, yeah. So there's a lot of exposure also there. And had it been the case that I would have started in Chandigarh, Mohali at that time, I'm sure, I would have felt bad about, all the things like, girls cannot do this, they cannot do this, and the perspective changes, I guess.
Tell me something about after you left your job, how did you start your career, or do you have more of experience to work with other male leads or female leads? How is it after Hafiz?
Okay, so after that, I came back and I never took a break, just like 14, 15 days, I went for a holiday with my friends. And then my father was the one who said that you have to do your own thing. You don't have to do a job. Whereas my mother was of the mind, that, okay, you never know where you get married. And then, you go and start your business there. My father was very much, strong-minded on that no, you have to start your own thing immediately. So for 6 months, I had no work. I used to go to the office, my father's office. I used to sit there and think what to do, what not to do, and being curious about it. And one day I cried. Okay, I went to my home temple and I cried. No, nothing is happening. And suddenly I got a call. Okay, you have. And my first project call, I just got I think 5,000 rupees, and I thought
That is how it was.
I'm the richest in the world. So that was there. And then obviously, I think till date, I would say that I'm trying harder every day. I can't say कि ठीक है, I'm successful or whatever, but I think I'm trying harder each day. Every day I try to do something new so that I can, come out better.
Yeah, I just understand that you also had support from your father in starting your practice. Just trying to understand, do you think as women we practice differently than men, having worked with Hafiz as well? What do you think is a little bit different than between a woman and man practicing architecture?
Okay.
And sorry to ask you if is your father also from the same field,
No,
or
no,
is he
no one
field?
in my family is an architect
Okay.
at all.
Okay.
And
Okay. First gen architect.
first generation architect. So,
Okay.
okay. So, I think it is the client's perspective more. So, people do came to me in the early years and they thought कि okay लड़की है नहीं कर पाएगी ये नहीं हो पाएगा site visits कैसे करेंगे. But now I think I have that rapport in the market as well, that if something comes to me, and recently what happened was that there was a lenter casting happening, okay, and there was a small ladder. I climbed through it, but the clients who were men, they couldn't do it, right? So that is one thing where I think gradually I've gained everybody's trust, so that I will do it. It's up to you. Or I can even lend you a hand. I just told my client, I'll help you come up. So he said, no, 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 I can't come. Let it be. It is fine. So then that I thought is fine. But yes, client's perspective is important. So once we have to trust ourselves first. We have to prove ourselves every day, not only one day. And then gradually, I think people trust me more. One, they always say that you're a female. You'll put your soul into it. So this is something everybody says, that you will put your soul into it. Whereas for men, I think primarily it is more about money, that how much are they earning, right? But for me, I think people especially say this, कि ठीक है, we want to get this done from a female because she'll try to put in everything, every effort into it.
Do you think that women are reached more in architecture field? Because I consider interior design, landscape design all into this one big umbrella of built environment. The statistics show that more women are preferred in interior design and more men are preferred in building design, the box design. And of course, landscape is where you can actually find almost equal gender participation. What is your take, and what kind of projects you are taking up? Do you have like a majority interiors, or it's a mix and match? And
no,
because the
it's a
trend
hardcore
shows
construction thing. Hardcore
hardcore
construction.
construction.
Yeah. You tell me, all those concrete and things like that. I recently in a conversation, I had better solution than men. Because you know what, the more you research on something,
Yes.
in fact, more problems you face, and then you stay there and you understand why this happened. and how can we
Hmm.
resolve this, that gets you to a better platform.
Hmm.
So, second, what I think why more of the females are interior designers, because in the society that we are in, girls are told this कि ठीक है, you like designing, तुम्हें घर अच्छा सजाना अच्छा लगता है तो आप इंटीरियर डिजाइनिंग में चले जाओ. Whereas the technical aspect हम ही शायद अपने बच्चों में नहीं डालते कि आप ये भी समझ सकते हो, आप ब्रिक को समझ सकते हो, आप मिट्टी को समझ सकते हो,
हाँ,
सीमेंट को समझ सकते
survey,
हो.
construction,
हाँ,
more masculine. We imagine them as masculine work.
हाँ, we imagine that, but it is not like that.
So it's like a prejudice. We carry
yeah.
a prejudice.
Yeah, so it is our the older generation we put, and today I think I do not see many practicing female architects everywhere. Either their husband is a contractor or there's some collaboration with some male member. So it is like that. So I think there are like 2, 3 friends I have who are actually practicing to the core and are actually doing excellently well.
I have two following questions in this aspect actually. Because one of the things which I studied before I started doing these conversations is the very definition of what is architecture. Because the way architecture is taught, it is almost like only those people are architects who are making buildings. Whereas my research tells that many women are actually falling out of this definition of being architects because they are doing very many other things and they have diversified either by compulsion, either by choice or by passion. That's a different story. But the thing is, in our 75 sessions, we have a very good bouquet or a combination of women who are researchers, who are doing completely different than making buildings. For example, I have been working on water for now nearly 20 years plus. Initially, of course, I started with architecture and ecology. In that sense, I feel the definition of architecture is quite limited. And when I was actually starting this research, I was also conducting women in architecture workshops. I call it engendering architecture. And I was going places all over the country and asking students, give me 5 famous women architects in the country, names of 5 women who are in architecture. Students will struggle, 10 still struggle. They will not name their own teachers who are by default architect because they are teaching. So this is also struck me very hard. So then who are architects actually? Then architects then becomes very limited definition for people like Sarab who are making buildings and people like me who are working on water. Unfortunately, water is still not part of architecture. I have been fighting for more than 20, 30 years now that it should be taught. So then we fall out of the architect's category, you know. So how do you think if society is looking at architecture in such a limited way, then then do you think we have enough architects in the country to build the nation, build the city? What's your take on it? Because we are still not doing 10% of the city's buildings.
Okay. So
As
first of all,
architects.
for me, architecture, the definition of architecture is an experience. Okay. The room I'm sitting in, the room you're sitting in, the way we are connecting with each other. My focus is towards you, not towards anything else. So this is kind of an experience that we create. So this is architecture. Now, to have this experience, there's another aspect to architecture as a profession. So this is like an emotional side. The other side is, आप पैसा कितना कमाते हो? How much do you earn? Right? So that is another question where I think females fail. I would say that. Because many of my friends who graduated with me haven't been into practice and their husbands, their families have been asking, how much would you earn after this? 10,000 ka job, 20,000 ka job? You better stay at home and, we are
Take
the
care of
breadwinner.
the house and children.
But when we talk of earnings, we don't only, I'm a past president with Rotary Club also. So when I look at myself, all these years, no matter I crawled, okay, if I couldn't run, I crawled.
Every one of us.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I've earned not only money but a lot of accolades. wherever, wherever research work was required, yeah, wherever I had to step in and get, into the competitions as well. I've participated in many, and thankfully, with God's grace, I've even won those competitions.
Mm.
So
Mm.
we need to keep doing the thing.
Yes. We have to be nagging in the
Huh.
profession for sure.
So first, I think I am very dumb, and I suggest every female should be dumb. We should not think much. Keep those noises away that you won't be able to do it. तुम कितना पैसा कमा के लाओगी? क्या होगा इससे?
बस
तुम
करो
practice करोगी तो क्या होगा?
लग जाओ बस
हाँ. Just keep working. That is it.
Mhm. That's
And
true.
many,
That's a very go ahead, please go ahead.
yeah. So many of my batchmates, they've got into some other business, okay, some other, clothing business, or maybe, something else, but they're not into their core,
Mm.
you know. So for me, it was a standard. Before getting married, my condition was that I have to practice. My office is here. I need to, find a boy around my place and who could adjust. And thankfully, my husband is very supportive. He's the one who sits in the crowd and claps for me when I'm on stage. So that's
Okay, that's interesting. That naturally brings me to the question, which is very tricky because when I am reaching out to most of you people, I don't know the family status and marital status. So I am very careful in asking this question, but I would like to ask now. And I also wish to defend this question because it gets very personal and you have the choice to answer or not answer. Most of the male famous architects, history tells us, are actually backed by not known or anonymous wives or women in the office. This is also set record. Okay, I don't have to do anything about it, even till
absolutely.
date.
Ji.
What is your take on the idea of a woman, like you just said, and I really like it because I also had a very interesting clarity, which I will share after you respond. What do you think having a partner, spouse, life partner, and professional partner from the same profession or different profession, do you think it makes a difference in one's career, especially when we are talking about women in architecture? What's your take on it? You can use your example, your surrounding example, whichever you feel comfortable for you.
Absolutely. That was my first condition, that my husband shouldn't be an architect at all. My father got two, three
Okay, very
proposals. Okay, he's an
interesting.
architect, you should get into it. I said, no, no architect at all. Right? So doctors usually marry
So you have
doctors.
your own space.
I need to have my own space, my own, area of working. And the way I think, I'm sure you will not, and the way you think, I may not be able to
Of
adapt to
course,
that,
that's
even if we are
the
sisters.
richness, you know.
Huh.
Yeah, we all have different lives and different
And
experiences.
somewhere in our society, I think I'm also taught with that thing that you need to listen to people, right? Listen to your husband. So first you need to give priority to them.
Their
And
career.
I am a little वो retaliate करने वालों में से हूँ कि ओके अगर फेरे होते हैं तो आदमी आगे क्यों है औरत क्यों नहीं हो सकती example. So I'm of that sort of way. And my husband and me, we've carried, from the first or second day of marriage, I drove my dolly to my the in-laws place because there was this drink and drive wala thing, and I immediately thought, okay, I have to drive the car now because I'm the only one who's not drunk. So instances like these have happened. And then I gained more confidence. Okay, I can do it, but definitely not an architect husband at all.
And that helped also for you, as we were talking about, that to have your own space and grow in the way you would like, whether it is failing, success, it all credit is yours. It stays with you.
Otherwise,
So you
what I've
see
heard
it
from my
that way.
friends, yeah,
Interesting.
I've heard it from my
Yes.
friends that उनको assistant वाला feeling आता है, as if they are an assistant to the main architect. उनको एक main, principal architect वाली feeling आती है. They have to take care of kids. Okay, you do this.
I have lived that life for 20 years. I have lived that life for 20 years with a spouse as landscape architect.
Okay.
So
So it feels
half
more
of
like
the time bhabhi, half of the time either you are bhabhi to the client or you are, of course, an office assistant as a front desk. So I have lived that life, so I am very much aware of it. And then, of course, you have to find your own way in life. Yes.
So those were my few conditions. Thankfully, I got that wisdom कि okay, I had those filters कि okay, ये नहीं होना चाहिए, ये नहीं होना चाहिए, और ये होना चाहिए, ये होना चाहिए. Still not
Very
100%, but at
interesting.
least we are very close. I'm very
Yeah,
close
I
to
mean,
it.
it's just our choices, which because I started with the idea that having an architect husband will be useful to have your practice coming from a very poor background person. I mean, not even having enough food to eat at the end of the month. I come from
Okay.
that background. So I thought, okay, having a same partner may be useful, and it is extremely useful. I can say that. But yes, your own space, your own growth, your own identity or your own ideas to take shape. Society was built in different way in our situation, to the extent that I had to actually sometimes remind my own husband in client meetings that, can you please tell them that your wife is also architect, because that
Absolutely
is
true.
why I am with you. I have done that in my early career. So you have to tell them that why I have come with you. I have not come with you because I am your wife. You have to tell your clients that I am
As an
architect and I am
architect,
involved in this
absolutely.
design.
Absolutely true.
Because many a times I have seated actually outside in the reception and the meeting has happened inside on the drawings
My
which I
God.
have made.
Okay. Okay.
So these are experiences, and these are very interesting experiences. By the way, this kind of interview is also done on me. By
Uh-huh.
one of the speakers, you will really laugh and listening to that session, you will enjoy. Let's move to the next question to you, because this is kind of a reflection with everyone, because we all have different journeys, different ideas. So I'm coming back to practicing, uh, because now you have people working in your office as well, which are from all genders, and young people, they must be coming with you to you with their ideas, their problems of do you think that there is still a problem, despite you have not faced it as like gender discrimination or something like that, because of your characteristics, and also because the culture and the way you started and the way you were supported, maybe many factors, and your inherent nature. Do you think that still in the younger generation, you sense that the women are still facing problem in their career as an early career or startups, or they are much? Do you see a change, or do you think that all women are now in the way you have looked at life, or they are more in that discriminating situation?
See, I haven't seen that here. Maybe in my office, it's not there at all, having a female boss. So I don't think so.
Mm,
There's anything of that sort. But yes, so anybody comes to me for an interview with filed nails and nice nail paint on the nails and
mhm,
nice mascara and eyeliner. So I understand that she's not going to cope up with my speed and my kind of work, because you know what, um, we think about our work day and night. You
mm.
know,
We are living architecture.
हाँ,
So
so
that is for sure.
when I'm about
Mm,
to sleep, and I'm sure everybody has this experience.
mm,
So सिर्फ रूफ की तरफ देखा तो एकदम idea, okay, I have to do this, right? So there
mm,
was this benchmark thing which I just recently did. I made the presentation at 1 a.m. because 12 o'clock idea आया. Immediately I went back to my
I think
PC.
we are all infected by this kind
Yeah,
of.
and I
We are
made a
living it.
presentation. And when
Mm,
it got executed, it was made in November 2025 at 1 a.m. and it was executed 6 months later. So whenever some
mm,
idea comes to me, I immediately document it. Okay, this is
mm,
something that I really need to do now. So this is that
mm.
something. But yes, talking of this generation, I think they're not willing to learn at all. There is a lot of
Mhm.
difference between. I'm not talking about male and female, but I'm talking about the
Generation. Mhm.
a
Mhm.
generation gap. And even I think even boys are not even serious
Is it
about their profession.
because of the education, or is it because the profession is not so welcoming or not so lucrative or rewarding?
No, I think they've not even tasted this profession till date. Reason
Mm,
why, um, teachers are teaching in that college, students are
mm,
graduating, students are going for masters, and they're coming back into the same college and teaching the children. So
mm,
the
mm,
cycle is such that there's no awareness. Okay, if I go to
mm,
Bangalore, I come to Ahmedabad, I visit places, there I see that flavor of architecture more. When we
mm,
have a
mm,
lot of experiences, but either the
mm,
same cycle is working.
mm,
मैं जो फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई एम लर्निंग 10 वर्ड्स टुडे आई एम टीचिंग इट टू द
mm.
अदर दूसरी जनरेशन को शायद उसमें से 5 समझ आएंगे, तो वो आके वापस कितना समझाएंगे और अगली जनरेशन को कितना समझ आएगा.
Oh, absolutely. I am also dead against, recruiting your own graduates in the same college.
Absolutely.
Then the institute is not growing for sure. I have voiced it many times in my
I
circles. It's a
sincerely
very
think
bad idea in education.
practicing architects should, have at least one visit. It should be mandatory that they have to teach the students. Whatever
Hmm.
challenge, whatever we are discussing today, right?
Hmm.
ये सबको experience ऐसे हमें, we have to convey to them. So I think this should be
Hmm.
mandatory.
Women in architecture is still not a subject in architecture school.
I think you are the first one who's approached me for this. When we are
Okay,
talking of
that's
women in
good.
architecture,
Thank
that's
you.
I'm
Hmm.
really appreciating this.
Yeah. See, there are two things here, and this is a good moment I must share with you. When I started researching, I studied for almost 10 years, and it's a world around problem. Huh? It's not only India problem. And there have been lot of study and lot of talk about architecture for women. So toilets, kitchen, room, color, texture, everything. So to or public spaces, women-friendly spaces, safer spaces, blah blah. And I realized, and somewhere I have that, I will say again, research bias. And I realized that architecture for women is only going to improve when we have women for architecture. And
Absolutely.
then when I see that the number of women is so less, although I cannot prove it scientifically that having more women is going to improve better architecture, and which many of our speakers have actually denied this fact, because it's not about being women in the profession, it's about being what do you offer to the profession and how do you offer
Absolutely.
sustainability, for example, in your case. So I can actually now come to that question to you about design approach. How do you see that Sarab's design approach? Is it something being as a woman you are looking at it, or do you see a difference because you have seen and worked with other, with the Hafiz as well, and your other colleagues, your classmates, you are in touch with them? Do you think women approach design differently than men, or it is really not like that?
No, I think it is definitely different from what men think.
How,
So
or some example,
we,
one or two
yeah,
example?
we are quite empathetic, and we are quite considerate about our daily needs, our daily requirements. The way I sit on the table
Mm,
and this thing doesn't pinch me, smallest of the all.
mm,
So, and when we
mm,
talk about buildings, especially for example, so recently I was discussing it with the client. I said, you need a store. The
mm,
the husband said, no, we don't need a store for this. Female said, no,
mm,
you understand what I'm saying, and we need a store for
mm,
that, or maybe we need
mm,
some particular place. So this is
mm,
definitely different. So it's
mm.
difficult to convince men to do something for us, and then ladies
Mm.
adjust. The occupants are,
So, I mean, I have put it as a presumption again that having more women will naturally make architecture more inclusive or better for women, children, and
absolutely,
senior citizens.
absolutely,
This is kind
absolutely.
of again a research backed. I have not done personal research on it, but I am just using literature review from outside. But then there is no research actually telling that there is a direct link, you know,
Hmm.
because then the literature on feminism and masculinity in architecture comes in. And that brings me to my next question on the very question which I am trying to do through this research is building role models. And I also shared with you that when I go and ask that school name five women in architecture or five famous women in architecture, 10 people fail to give names. I grew up knowing only Didi Contractor. I will be very honest on that. And I had no chance and luck to work with her. And I always wished to work. Laurie Baker was my second chance, but second choice, but I of course did not work with him as well. But I already realized in my early career, first 2, 3 years, that there is some problem being women in architecture. And I can share that with you now. I started my career with Doshi, and initially I was feeling that, oh, I wish I was Doshi's daughter because his
Hmm.
sir was very nice
Same
to me
happened with
and
me,
all that.
yeah. Uh,
Yeah. So, oh, I wish I was his daughter. I can do this, I can do that, da, 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 da. And then I learned after some time that Radhika Ben is there. She's architect and she was not coming so much to the office. And that started hitting me,
hmm.
you know, why? I still don't know her personally, but I think she inspired me to find out why. Then I did my master's, then also my head of the department for 2 years. I did not know that his wife is also architect. Very successful office. Then I did my internship with Meenakshi Jain ma'am, and this is when I really loved the idea how a couple architect should be working. So KB Jain, Kulbhushan Jain sir and Meenakshi, my role models in a way, because I worked with both of them. So I in a way, I can say that there are three role models. Couple, if they are doing very well, and both of them are very well known in the field. But if I look beyond these three couples, so I can also name the other two couple, Miki Desai and Madhvi Desai. And Madhvi actually came on our 75th session on my request. Because for me, that was like a bumper draw, because she came to celebrate 75th. And of course, Nimish Patel and Parul Javeri went. So Parul also came just on 74th session, because I really lined them up to celebrate 74 and 75. So there are very few, but then I know now many architects in the country whose spouses are from the same field, but they are not so well known. Again, it is an individual's choice to be at the forefront or not. What do you think are the other reasons why in India we do not know many famous women in architecture? Or do you think it's just my ignorance, and probably because I am not in the main architecture building construction industry, that I am unaware of many? I am aware now, but in general, at least I have the names of 75 women, and I know 400 because I reached out to 400 women.
So when we talk of any profession, we think of the technicality. And by default, we have this in my mind that men are more technically minded than the females, right? Females do all the happy stuff, nice, decorated, good to look, and that is it. So ये हमारे mind में पहले से it is there. Second,
again, prejudice.
yeah. And second, शायद we as females, we don't want to get into the technical aspect. See,
we also don't choose.
So somebody, for example, somebody comes and tell me, okay, तुम ये नहीं कर सकते, तुम ये ऊपर ऊपर का काम कर दो, तुम color scheme select कर दो, बाकी हम कर लेंगे. Why not? Okay, if we are not given the opportunity, why shouldn't we question? Right? I want to get into this. So my first site visit, which I'm talking about in Kerala, there I only asked my immediate boss, can I go to the site visit? He said, you'll go alone. I said, yeah, I'll go alone. Second day, he just, kept the tickets on my table. And I was surprised. So sometimes I think we need to ask for it.
Risk.
Yeah, we need to ask for what we really want. Then only I think the universe and people, they'll be able to give it to us.
So that still I would push that question further. Even in our textbooks globally, also we know male architects. We grew up their names. In India also, as I proudly say, I am a Doshian or a Sangatian, we call it as Doshi Bachas, I don't recall that in 1995 there were many well-known women architects whom we in no internet time. And now it's a very different situation. Now you just Google name top 10 architects, women architects in the country, you get many options, because these different series, different events have brought them in. But in those days, the list which we used to receive from university or what we were taught were all male architects. And you may not be surprised, because I am also not surprised, that list today still is male dominated in the architecture schools. So this is where I feel that still women have not made that mark in the profession. What do you think may be other reasons? One, of course, you mentioned that. And I also found out from research that many women have actually not documented their work and done a lot of promotion or, informed about their wonderful work. That is also one of the reasons.
So considering a case where,
What
you
are
know,
the
a
other reasons you think?
couple is working together in an office, I think somewhere
Hmm.
the husband would be more protective about the female, right? Okay, you don't do this, or maybe, you know, I'll handle this. See, when we are working, there are going to be challenges, problems hongi. But to, you know, face those problems, are females, are we, you know, uh, told to face the problems or just run away? Run away in a way, कि, okay, no technical problems, you don't have to face all of that. You have to, you know, stay happy, take care of kids. Even I've heard this. I'll not, you know,
Hmm.
say no to this, कि, okay, बच्चों को देखना है. And my mother only sometimes says that. कि, okay, take care of
Hmm.
the kids, take care of the family, ये वो. So that is a part of it. After 5, 7 years,
It's a
my kids are
societal.
also,
Hmm.
yeah. So my kids are
Hmm.
also going to go to some college, hostels and all that. What will I answer myself at that point of time? I won't be able to do anything, right? So recently, you know,
Hmm.
I just there was some instance, I think kuch females ka uh, this somebody had committed a suicide, right? She was in the national news.
Hmm.
So I said okay,
Hmm.
maybe it is not her fault, right? As a
Hmm.
society, I would like to answer this question.
Hmm. Hmm.
पहले
Yes.
हम पंछी के खुद पर काटते, और जब शादी हो जाती
अभी
है हम
बोलते
कहते हैं
उड़ो,
आप अपना अपने आप संभालो, हमें कुछ नहीं पता,
अब
एंड देन
उड़ के दिखाओ, अब उड़ के
हाँ,
दिखाओ।
अब तुम उड़ो। जब उनके
हाँ।
पर छोटी उम्र में काट दिए थे, उनकी थिंकिंग मेंटालिटी को आपने बिल्कुल खत्म कर दिया था कि यू शुड डू दिस, यू विल नॉट गेट इनटू दिस, एंड शादी के
Hmm.
बाद यू इमीडिएटली से ओके यू टेक केयर ऑफ योर हाउस, मेरे को मत, यू नो, यू डोंट हैव टू
Hmm.
टेल एनी ऑफ योर मैरिटल प्रॉब्लम्स टू मी. हाउ विल दैट
Hmm.
गर्ल, you know, how can she do
Hmm.
that? You've not allowed her,
Hmm.
you've not taught her the right
Hmm.
way, so she cannot grow at all. So I
Hmm.
think
There's a
societal.
step. Hmm.
Huh.
Hmm.
So
Societal,
one, we
what?
are not, you know, encouraged to get into the technical aspect. Second, we as females, we don't push ourselves ahead.
Hmm. Hmm.
We are very obedient and we listen and we sit back. So I
It
think we
also
never
comes
question.
naturally also for many women who are taking care of the office, and it also comes naturally, like taking care of the home, taking care of the office. I'm talking about where they have same profession spouse. I mean, again, I have not shied away from sharing my own experience with all our speakers and online or any public platforms. 20 years I have not received a single check from the office, and because it is
It's a common thing.
background, background work. And then it's like, what did you earn in 20 years?
Mm.
You
Then
know,
you look back
so
and then you realize, yeah.
then you have to reflect, and also that the fact that you naturally get into that management mode for some skills or the other, or to have peace. These are some things which have come out very clearly from all the conversations, by the way. That at the end of the day, the multitasking is also there on women's shoulder. So a tricky question for you, and then we can move to the last two questions. All then, have you really realized or seen across or in your own life that we tend to carry this superwoman syndrome? I call it superwoman syndrome, as in do your best in profession, do your best in personal life, and still find time to run your passion and do it very rigorously. And there are very few lucky people, probably like Sarab and Mansi, who can really bring all these three together: personal, professional, and passion, and rock in life. Then success becomes secondary, or that is kind of mantra we evolve over time, whether falling and rising, falling, rising. So, what is Sarab's mantra to do things and find a way? How did she find a way in her life? I'm sure it's not that easy and smooth ride as probably this conversation
Absolutely.
must be sounding, which is also very interesting because you have to also weigh and articulate what you will respond. So, what is your mantra to carry your passion, your profession, and personal life in your best possible way, of course?
So my passion is my profession. Okay.
Yes, so that is the
And
first marriage, yes.
so not the opposite of it. Okay, first
Uh,
I do my duties and then I find time for my passion and profession.
uh,
First I'm into my passion and profession and I'm
uh,
carrying the duties along with
uh,
that. I
Uh-huh.
drop my kids to school myself. I pick them up myself. I wake up at 5, 4:35 in the morning. I do my office work in the morning. I allocate duties. And yes, I would also like to mention, which usually people are not doing, even men, females, though we should leave aside, that I have an automated business. Okay. So I have an app made where I put all my tasks and that is distributed. So I have many people working from home. So some females who got married, they know the office style and they are at their places and they work for me. So one, I have this automated system. I don't need to meet them every day, although I'm in office. Second,
So we
yes.
are in the same boat, by the way. I have
Oh wow.
everyone outside. No one is sitting on my head or around me. Never.
I
Because
have
I go
around, yeah,
globe-trotting.
I have around
So,
7, 8 people in my office and then
hmm,
site
hmm,
people and then
hmm,
girls and even boys, they're working from home for me. So one, we need to simplify. Okay, so first the aim has to be clear. Okay, what do we want? And then we find out the steps. Okay, those little steps. Okay, how to move further, right? So these are two things. So yes, profession is very important. I do not compromise with my work at all. But considering kids, COVID was there earlier. My office was somewhere else. That was in the commercial space. But because of COVID and my newborn baby, I had to move my office to my place, my house on the first floor. So we need to, you know, bend ourselves to the circumstance also sometimes. But we don't
adapt,
have to back
yes.
off. We have to mold
You
ourselves.
can adapt. Yeah,
We
yes.
can adapt, but we don't have to back off. Okay, okay, this is not happening. I'll not do it. And
And I think listening to you and listening to all other women also, even if we fail once or twice, rising from it is extremely important because that's also something very much coming out from many girls. When we see statistics today, India actually has more women graduating in architecture. Not today, probably from your time already. I see that you are probably one generation later than me. More women graduating, but still we don't make it to the chart busters. I use the word
absolutely.
successful, and I have been time and again told, what do you mean by successful woman? It's a success is a very subjective, and I personally think success is a very masculine word, and I don't want to chase it. But still, that question that people should know, that there are women, and it is okay to have a woman architect for your project. We need to normalize it. It's still not normalized that it is okay. And having said that, still more women are in interior design than in architecture. But that's we have completely now segregating architecture and interior design because it is also taught differently and things like that. So, I'm just curious here to know from you, when you have this kind of situation where more women are unable to return, and often it has happened because of marriage and because of motherhood. Uh, what do you think? How can they really recover from this, returning to the job? Or do you think we have enough professional and societal environment for them to come back and practice
No,
or
not
teach?
really.
And many women actually take it to teaching then because who
Absolutely.
wants to come
That's the
back to the profession?
safest thing. Yeah. No,
Hmm.
I think our society is not, it is very mature. The society is very mature to adjust to that. They think of other things more rather than, giving the rather than allowing the female to prioritize her work. So this is us. We need to be courageous. We need to have
Hmm.
all the confidence in our minds that yes, I want to do it. On the contrary, I would also mention any female who doesn't want to work or practice.
Of
So
course,
she doesn't
it's
want to do that.
personal choice.
It's a personal choice. But if you want to do it, you should not step back.
Hmm.
You have to do it, you have to do it. Fourth day after my delivery, the laptop was in my hand. Okay,
Hmm.
40th day. So we got this ritual 40 days after the baby birth, you're not going anywhere
Hmm.
in the 40 days. So 41st
Hmm.
day, I was in my office. I carried my child, I dropped my child to Nani's place, and then I went to office. So you need to find those ways. You need to find those,
Hmm.
channels. Okay, this is the
I
way I
already
can
call
achieve.
it superwoman, by the way, this kind of.
So I think we are blessed. I think females are blessed that we can do a lot of things, but we also need to be
Hmm.
courageous. What we
Take
want, we want.
risks also.
Absolutely.
So that brings me to the penultimate question. Yeah, and it's a hypothetical situation. We have to dream. Not that I would like that day to come, but it's just like in school, we say if you aim for 100 marks, you get 70, 80, So, but you aim for 100. So I would like you to imagine a time in the past or in the future when all leading architects of the country are women.
Mhm.
It's a hypothetical situation. How do you think our buildings, our neighborhoods, cities would look different? Or will they look different? Or will it not make a difference?
Definitely, that'll make a difference. One, I think it will look beautiful for sure because we've got that aesthetic sense. The places would be more
Mm,
inclusive, as you said. Okay. Um, and as a female principal architect or boss, you can say we understand our employee problems more, right? So, in case they have
mm,
any issues, we try to solve their problem rather than just saying no and get out of the office. So, I think we
mm,
can have a more friendly environment. But at the same time, I think females have got their own problems. If there are all females in the room, I think out of jealousy or maybe some other issue, they might not talk to each other at all. So that is, I think we should have a combination of both for sure.
But would cities, buildings, neighborhoods look different other than
Definitely,
office
yes.
environment?
Absolutely, they will look
For
different.
example, if you may just give me one or two examples.
Mm, okay, considering our the journey of a female from
Hmm,
childhood till the till the older ages,
hmm,
we need to consider how a woman, what challenges, physical challenges a woman faces.
hmm,
It could be the knees problem, so we need to think about the disability factor. It
hmm,
could be because of childbirth also. We cannot walk much. We cannot go up and down. As is said, although I've done everything, otherwise it's
hmm,
said. So the spaces should be more approachable and
hmm,
more comfortable, I think. They'll
hmm,
be more comfortable and beautiful also, I'm sure. We play around with
hmm.
colors very well.
Okay, that's very interesting. That brings me to the last question, actually. And it's your message to the younger generation, and it's in two parts. I will ask in two small parts, and the answer can be very crisp and short. First, the statistics tell architects in the country for nation building or development and so on and so forth. What's your message to the young people? Do we need more architects or to improve our architecture, or what is it?
No, we definitely need more architects. One,
Why should then people join architecture? People still don't know. What's your message to them?
so one, money is not everything. Okay, our profession is such. Maybe in the early years we don't earn much, but gradually we can be at that place and we can earn a lot of it, and we can gain more respect for a profession. Second,
Mm-hmm.
uh, no nose to hard work at all. So this
Mm-hmm.
generation, even the younger generation, they should be ready to take up the challenges. They should stay consistently there at their place. Right? Can I share an example with you? Can I
Sure,
share an
sure. Go
example?
ahead.
Okay, so I was in
Yeah.
Mumbai
Go ahead.
in my early years, as I said.
Mm.
So I hope you know the situation of the local trains there. Okay. And
Yes.
I was
Yes.
like, I think hardly 22, 21, 22
Mm.
years old.
Mm.
And in the early hours, subah around 7, 8 a.m. when I used to go to the office,
Mm.
there was a huge rush to enter into the local and
Yes.
people used to push each other.
Mm.
I'm sure you've been to Bombay.
Mm.
So I was standing and suddenly,
Into
somebody,
Bombay, not to the local train. Never.
so in the local trains, अभी तो metro शुरू हो गया. So some ladies pushed me and I said, oh, so sorry. Please go ahead. Okay. With good manners and the way we are taught. Then one train went away and I was standing there. Then again another one came. Again somebody pushed me. I said, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I stepped back. 3, 4 trains passed. Okay. And I was just standing there saying sorry to people. Okay, you got hurt from me or maybe, although she pushed me. There I decided, I don't have to push anybody. But I do not have to lose control of my feet. जहां पर मैं खड़ी हूँ, nobody can push me. So this is a big life lesson for me. So when somebody is pushing me, I will not push back, but I will stand strong on my feet that you will not be able to push me. And then the next day onwards, I was able to get into the first train
Get
which came.
into those trends.
So I'll not do anything wrong to anybody, but I will not allow anybody to do wrong to me. So that was
Interesting,
one.
because because you talk about Mumbai, because I also wished to work on with Charles Fourier, because my final year thesis was inspired by his work. And the reason I did not go, and I got with Doshi's office also, I got approval of job confirmation. Reason I did not go to Mumbai was the local trains,
Absolutely.
to be
So that was
honest. So
something
you
where
are so right that we are initially in our career itself, we want to give away
I
many
have a lot
things.
of stories. So maybe next time, whenever we have a
Everyone,
conversation,
trust me. Trust me, because these conversations have opened us, many of us, between each other. That brings me to the last question, and it is more behavioral. And I think a person like you can give us very crisp response to it. What are the simple behavioral change we think we should bring at work so that more women are encouraged or feel comfortable to pursue their career?
okay. Biologically, we have to understand that a female is a female and a male is a male. There is no comparison, there's no competition, first of all.
Yes.
When we respect a female as a female, their entire atmosphere changes. Right? When we expect कि okay ये तो लड़की है ये नहीं कर पाएगी या okay she must be on her periods or she won't be able to cope up with that, she won't be able to go to the site, we assume, right? We should not do that assumption. If she has, she wants to go, she can go.
And
She
let
doesn't
her
want to
take
go,
that call.
let her
Let
take the
her.
decision, right? Why should we decide for her? Okay, this is what she has to do and she won't be able to do it. Why will she not be able to do it? She can do it,
Should
right?
not be judgmental.
We should not take decisions on, we have to ask her whether she wants or she doesn't want. So I think that is one primary important thing. And second, biologically, we understand we have mood swings. Females, they have more mood swings. Even men have that, but ladies have more mood swings than the men. Then we have to understand, okay, so I have one employee with me who's, she is expecting a baby. So sometimes she gets, annoyed or maybe, she says something. And then I understand as a female boss, I understand that, this is a part of the journey. It will happen. I have to
There's
understand
some process
and
going
just
on.
ignore. We don't have to react to everything, whatever she says. So these are small, small things we have to understand. We have to understand female like a female and male like a male.
I think we are looking for small behavioral change, because you and I cannot change the world, but even if we can change little things around us, that is good enough. We should. That brings me to my bouquet of questions. I hope I have not bothered you enough, but this is also only one and last time that if you have any question for me related to research or related to me, this is a time that you may ask on record.
Okay. What was the biggest challenge you faced, number one, and how you overcame that?
Biggest challenge in career, you mean? I think being the shadow architect.
And how you,
how did I overcome? I think the clarity in my head that I wish to pursue something very passionate. I was passionate about working on water, and I think we complement each other very well in that sense in our work. And slowly, I think I also realized that I love to read and write and teach. So I diversified into doing research, reading, writing, and as an educator, I have more teaching. My own courses are there. And at some point in time, I lost interest in consultancy. And the fact that in consultancy, in one meeting, you have to say at least 1,000 times, yes, sir, I think I lost it. And there were some events in consultancies which I thought, no, I cannot be slave to the money. I wish to do the way things I like to do. And I think my education for myself and educating others has liberated my thinking. So I'm like more like a fish or a bird. I can go anywhere in the world, just laptop uthao. And that's my office anywhere in the world. And all my fellows are everywhere in the world. So that's
the best part. You respected your choices, right?
Yes,
and
and I
we,
think we have
everyone.
deep respect for each other's work. We are still living, talking, sleeping, eating architecture. We cannot avoid that because I think that's an infection we carry in the profession. That wherever we go, we cannot avoid talking about architecture. So we are still living that way, both of us. But I think we both found our passion, and then it allows room to grow. So I think that is the best thing which has happened, and I could overcome without any support.
Absolutely.
And I feel very proud of it that there was nobody to support me. I found my way, I faltered. I think I'm a bag of failures, and I love that. And I'm still going in that direction. But it still gives me a sense of content because nobody told me what to do, how to do, and I don't care
You
how
paved
people
your own
judge me.
way, right?
And I don't care how people judge me. And I
Absolutely.
don't want to be successful. The best part is I liberated myself that I don't wish to be successful. But the irony is that I am doing a research to find successful women,
Absolutely.
and,
That's
and,
that's
and it
another
is
step
not
towards
about being
success.
successful. Yeah, I think it is not about being successful. It's about how women have charted their path. And I actually have questioned all my life that success, the word success itself is masculine. Because if a woman is riding horse, if a woman is playing cricket, if a woman is becoming pilot, or this and then she is successful. If a woman is becoming big banker, then she is successful. Or like big architect in the office, I have questioned it personally myself. Even though I'm doing this research, but I don't think I was ever chasing anything. It's just that I need to have my space, just like you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Express myself and educate. I love to be remaining student. I love to be student. I can just find scholarship anywhere in the world and go back to, you give me a bachelor's degree course again, I am very happy to go back and start studying. Somebody has to take care of my food and shelter.
And
That's it.
expensive. Uh,
That's
that's
it. Then I am not bothered about how much I earn, where I live, what will be my name after that. I don't care. I have to just enjoy
I
every
think
day.
that's the
So I
right
think
attitude.
I mean, I think that's also the mantra which I try to ask all of you, that after reaching this age, I mean, I'm going to be in senior citizen stage very soon, in few years. I give them to anything now. I just do what I wish to do. Whether
Absolutely.
it will have impact, whether it will give me money, whether it will give me success, I don't care. I love to do this. I love to talk to Sarab. I love to talk to
So
Amadi. I
three
love to
words,
learn
three
from all of
words,
you.
I don't care that you said. That has a
Yes.
huge impact on my mind. Suddenly I just got into my bubble and said, yeah, I don't care. It's fine. It's okay. Everything doesn't need to be perfect. I
It's
don't
it's
care
the
how they
mantra
are.
we crack over the years.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I don't care. Simple and straight.
It's because we are not hurting anybody, we are not,
Absolutely.
as long as we are taking care of not hurting others, I think we should have our room to grow. So that
Absolutely.
should be the way. Okay,
Absolutely.
that brings us to the end of the conversation, Sarah. Thank you so much for
Thank
this
you so much
wonderful
for the invitation.
conversation. Honestly, I was feeling that the conversation was flowing, though the profession itself actually asks us to be gender neutral. And today, from you, we learned that you actually grew up in that kind of environment and an attitude to really practice as Sarah, as a human being, not being woman or
Or
some
wife
other
or
way.
right.
Yes. So the issue actually of being woman and woman should not arise in principle. And we have some role models like you also in our this conversation series. And I would really personally like to live a day when we don't have to talk about women in architecture and not even about gender. And I think this research is a small step towards, as like a droplet towards that goal, where we can talk about this is architecture, these are architects. We don't have to talk about women or this. Having said that, I also mentioned to you very clearly that there is a bias that more women may change, but I think slowly I am also realizing that engendering the profession may not really bring the architecture more feministic or more inclusive. There is much more than that. I think we need to work on it. The more I'm interacting with people like you, enlightened souls like you, I'm realizing the deep contribution you people are making in not only in the architecture profession, but also engendering the profession. And from our end, we are just trying to compile it together and bring it to the world. Thank you so much, Sarah, for this
Thank you
enlightening
so
interaction.
much. Thank you so much for the invitation. It
Thank
was
you.
great to
Thank
be
you.
here. Yeah. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Take
Have a
care.
nice
See
evening.
you
You
soon.
too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye.